The report that you're going to see today is of utmost importance to this nation because it calls to our attention once again a profoundly important fact, that we're losing it. We're losing our ability to make things in America, and as we lose that ability, we are going to lose our leadership in the world, our national security will be at risk, and we will not have the kind of wealth that we need to maintain the middle class in America. Now, fortunately, there are people that are thinking about this, and I have the great honor of introducing one of them. Leo Hindery, Jr. is the chairman of the Economic Growth and Smart Globalization Initiative at the New American Foundation. He's a member of the Council of Foreign Relations, and he's in things that are supposed to make a lot of money and a lot of jobs, he hopes. And we hope he does too. He's the former CEO of Telecommunications Inc., TCI, Liberty Media, and their successor, AT&T Broadband. So he knows what it is to be in the business world. He's also a blogger. For those of us that occasionally read blogs, Huffington Post blogger. Let me introduce to you Leo Hindery, Jr. Leo?
Well, this is going to be quicker than even that. Senator Tom Harkin, we just had a vote on the floor and turned down the deficit cap bill that came over from the House. And so Senator Tom Harkin,
What'd you do with it, Tom?
he tabled that sucker. So I'm actually going to quickly turn it over to Senator Harkin. Let me just say one of the reasons it's such a privilege for all of us that associated with this project. I had the privilege of most of my early career being in the state of California. Representative Garamendi was my legislator for me. He was my insurance commissioner. He obviously is now a congressman from a state that sort of defined my career. At no point did anybody in the state of California ever speak more eloquently about creating jobs, preserving jobs of quality for the American worker than John Garamendi. Later in life, I became a transplant to Iowa. I was part of the Harkin for President initiative when it was popular. And on the Senate side, it's Tom Harkin who has carried the mantle for so many years so ably on this issue as well. So a privilege for all of us that had something to do with this commission task force to have Representative Garamendi and our dear friend Tom Harkin with us. So Tom, some comments from you, and then I'll be a little more precise about the task force report, Michael, if I can.
Leo, thank you very much, and I apologize for being late, but we did have that vote. We're getting across town. How did you get here in such good time, Garamendi?
We get our work done quickly.
Yeah, you don't do anything.
Well, in the current situation, we don't do anything
good.
right.
That's probably good. That's probably to the best. Well, we did just turn down that cut cap and kill Medicare. I referred to it the other day that it's not really a cut, it's an amputation. And it's not really a cap, it's a decapitation of our federal responsibilities. But let me, first of all, Leo, thank you for mentioning my presidential race. Some of you may have missed it, so I wanted to make sure that I appreciate him mentioning that. But let me just sum it up this way. The debate that's going on right now is like deciding which train to take, and you're on the wrong track. We're deciding whether to take the train on the $4 trillion cut or the $2.5 trillion cut or this cut, which is the wrong track to be on. The right track to be on is what should we be doing right now to stimulate job creation in our society, and that's why this task force is so important and so vital at this point in time. There's two ways of creating these jobs. It seems to me the private sector could invest the $1 to $2 trillion it's sitting on right now to create those jobs, but it's obviously not doing it. Or the federal government needs to get the wheels going to stimulate demand through I hate to use the word a massive stimulus, but an infrastructure type of a program. So where's the federal government going to get that money? It's only got two places to get it. You either borrow it or you raise revenues. Well, on my side, I'd say let's raise the revenues. If the private sector is sitting out there on $1 to $2 trillion trillion and they don't want to invest it, well, then by God, we can invest it. And that's where we got to raise the revenues to do so. And this task force has come up with ideas on that. I have ideas of my own. We all have. But there's plenty of revenues to be raised out there. You raise the revenues, and then you turn around and you stimulate the economy by putting it into both human infrastructure and the physical infrastructure of our country. To me, if we did that in a very bold manner, in a big manner, then you then start to create the demand. The demand comes up. You're putting people back to work. That seems then that would sort of tell the markets out there that we are moving ahead aggressively and boldly. We're not shrinking. We're not retracting, but we're going to expand and we're going to grow, and that then would stimulate further private investment. So that's why I say we're on the wrong track when we're arguing about these things, and it's dismaying to me to see a president of the United States of my party who seems to accept the fact that we're on the wrong track. I was hoping that he might move and be a little bit more bold on the jobs creation effort. Ron Wyden gave a great speech on the Senate floor yesterday, and I kind of followed him up on it, and just on talking about this very issue. And we need more people talking about it. And that's why Leo, you and your task force and what you've been doing here, we've got to start focusing on the single most important thing, putting people back to work. It's not reducing the deficit. That can come later. But to cut spending now is like putting leeches on a sick person. It's going to bleed them more and make them more sick. We have 500,000 people, close to 500,000 people in the public sector lost their jobs in the last 2 years. Do they have demand out there for goods and services? No. And yet somehow we think we can continue to get rid of people and shed people that are working in the public sector. That's just a formula for a downward spiral. So again, Leo, thank you very much for your great leadership. I thank the Task Force on Job Creation. I've read it through. You are on the right track. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Michael, if I might just add some quick historical perspective, and then what'll be fun, I think, is Michael is such a friend of this initiative, and we're going to sort of go after this as a panel, and then we're going to ask for your support and questions as well. This actually began in 2006.